Hi, this is Terry Lee, and we are on part 3 of making our photo album. Today, I did part of it ahead of time because there's kind of quite a lot of cutting and gluing, and I think you already know how to cut and glue by now. I left the papers off on this side because it's a little bit different. And so what we're going to do is we're going to attach these two sides that fold in, and then we're going to put the flip out, which is this part right here. We're going to put the flip out and the pocket on here. Actually, I need to write no glue up here. I'm going to accidentally glue our pocket shut. That's not going to be good. Okay, so first of all, I want to show you, to prep the envelopes, what I did is I took black acrylic paint. It worked much better than the markers that doesn't bleed through. I took black acrylic paint and painted, and you have to paint out far enough on either side to cover where you can see it, where the little seam is. Okay, and this is going to be our flip out envelope, and so you need to make sure to do that. And I have already put the papers on this one. You guys know how to cut and glue and ink. So I'm going to show you to make sure you remember. I'm going to show you on this one because we're going to do the same thing on that one. If you remember, once we painted it, even though we didn't paint this one, oh, and I got my little fastener on, so I hope that you got your little fastener glued on as well. Did your homework. If you remember, we're going to cut the ends off. That's going to be for these two as well. They're the regular business envelopes like we've been using. Some of this stuff I'm going to kind of assume that you remember from, you know, video 1 and video 2. The easy stuff. Okay, so we're going to throw those two away. And so then that gives you this open envelope, and this open envelope, and then that makes it easier to glue this inside piece in when we get to that. And since we're folding this one when we put the flap on, then the top of here is a little bit different, and so we're going to go over that. I have picked out my papers, and I'll end up having to take a short commercial break while I ink them up after I show you how we're going to cut them. Let's see what else. Oh yeah, we're going to go ahead and glue these on camera because, like I said, they're a little bit different. All right, so we've cut the ends off of this one, and I just did that on camera to make sure you remembered how. So now the one on the right side is just a pocket, which is, this is the envelope. This is this part. It's just an envelope with the piece of paper, the little 2-inch piece of paper glued inside just to fill the inside so you don't see the business envelope part. And it's been painted, it's all ready to go, and I just covered it with a paper because we're going to glue that flap out on here. And you can put something here if you want, a little pocket for a picture or something like that. I may do that later. And then we just have a solid image on the outside because we're going to be doing stuff with that later. Let me look and make sure. Oh, actually, it's the inside. Yeah, the inside stays like this. So you're going to be able to put something in here. Let me show you this real quick. I made these. I created a PDF, I mean not a PDF, but a publisher file that had the tags, and the tags had no fill color. So then I added I layered a picture from this kit on that file and printed it out, and I ended up with tags that didn't come with this kit, but are made with the paper from this kit. So instead of having the white ones, I'll just do this. Instead of having the white ones in here, then you will be able to, there's some different sizes on the file that I'm going to give you. You'll be able to put colored ones in there if you want, and then they can put photos on the back. So I just wanted to show you that little bonus, because I had it out right in front of me. And oh, and this little flip out book, I think most of you saw the pictures of it in the group where I was asking how you wanted me to decorate it. So I ended up putting this piece of ephemera on to open it, and then you've got this envelope where you can put stuff inside, and then it opens like this, and there's another envelope here where you can put stuff in. I added a little pocket. I just decorated this one, and then it closes up like this, and then you fold it over and there's an envelope, and then it opens this way. And I haven't finished decorating, and then I decorated this. I made it a little pocket. Okay, so it flips. Now if you want to add it to your actual book, then you would not decorate this. Instead, you would glue this into your book like that. So we're going to make that at the very end if we have time. Not the end of this video, but the end of the series. Okay, so back to this. Sorry about that. I got sidetracked because they were laying right there, and I apologize for my voice. I'm a little froggy this morning, and I was gluing and I was using Fabrifix, and it just gave me this pounder of a headache. All right, so anyway, this is all ready to go except for putting the flip out on it. Okay, and so what we're going to do is we're going to get out more glue. We're going to get out the Fabrifix, because what we're going to do is we're going to glue this flap to the back side that we haven't decorated yet of the 6x9 envelope, because that way both flaps will be glued on before we cover it with any paper. All right, so this is going to be simple. All we're going to do is take the sticky cover off, and then we're going to put glue on it. Now remember, you need to put it to where the crease, which you can't see because it's black, but where the flap bends is going to need to be butted right up against, oops, I forgot the sticky was open, but right up against here, as far as you can get it. You'll still see a little bit of black, but you need to butt it right up against there, but don't get it so close to the fold that you can't fold it. And my glue came in, so my glue bottle's full, so I will not be complaining about my glue. You want a fair amount of glue on here because you're going to have to open and close it for the lifetime of your little photo album. And the best way to do this is to kind of stand it up, slide this over. Now I lined mine up with the bottom because it's a little bit shorter, and then go like this while you're holding down to get the glue secured, and hold it like this. And now that looks pretty straight. Pretty straight. Versus straight. Okay, and then you're just going to kind of crease it so that it lays down. Now it's going to have the flip out right here. All right, but let's put this side on first. So we're done with this side as far as the attaching it. That's it. That's all there is to it. And it's going to be the same way to attach this one. So that part's not that hard. And the only thing different on here is that when we glue this on, when we glue this side on, we're going to make 2 pockets. Okay? So when we glue this side and the inside, we're going to glue it like normal. All the paper clips are coming off. So we're going to glue this like normal. I accidentally had my printer set on 30% because I was printing something small. And then I went to print out some papers and they printed out at 30%. I forgot to change it. And I realized that this 2 inches was a little bit too deep, but I forgot to change it just now. I forgot to trim it down. You want this to be close to your seam, but not to don't impede its ability to bend. You can make it the full length of the envelope instead of having to figure out the sliding in length, because we're not going to glue it until we've got this glued in and the other papers put on. All right. So that actually looks a little crooked to me. Okay. All right. Then we're going to glue this one on. And I marked which way was up because I made a mistake on this one and I forgot to make the pockets. It was originally going to be this side. So I flipped it over and put it on this side. And so the music is upside down, but we're going to cover it with the flip. So I decided I could live with it. So we're just going to glue this one on. Try to get it right side up. Oh, and once you cut them off, of course, you're going to have to ink them all the way around, all the envelopes, all the papers, you know, everything. The measurements on this is going to be 8.5 by 4 1/8. This will be in the PDF. And this piece is going to be 8.5 by 3 1/2. And then this one's going to be 8.5. I made it by 3, which is way too big. I think 1 1/2 would probably do it. Okay, so those are the measurements for that one. The measurements for this one are going to be exactly the same. We're just going to glue it differently. Okay. You know, why do I have 8.5 by 4 written on there? Oh, because the 3 is on the inside. Anyway, measure your business envelope. It may not be the same as mine. And I'm going to double check that my flowers are right. If I had that one at the top, what do you guys think? Should I maybe put this one at the bottom? Yeah, I think I am. I think I'm going to change. Yeah, I think I'm going to change my mind. Because there's no writing on here. There's just music. Okay. Executive decision. I call executive decision. All right, so we're going to glue this on as normal with the little piece of glue gunk following us around. Do you like how quick I'm going this time? It's because we did all of these basic things in the other videos. So there's no need in doing it again step by step. I could have had this glued on ahead of time, but I knew it would only take a second. Okay, now when we glue this one down, we are not going to put glue on here. Okay? We are going to put glue down the middle. That way it'll separate into 2 pockets. Let me fold this out of the way. All right. And so then we'll glue here, here, here. So here, here, here to make like a big pocket. And then we're going to run a bead of glue down the middle to separate it into 2 pockets. Okay. And that's why I wrote in there glue and no glue. That way when I flip it over and put it in there like that, trying to decide if I want to make an executive decision on this one too, so the 2 white flowers aren't together, and make this the opposite of that. Let's see, it's going to go on like that. This will be like this. That will be like that. And close it, and close it, I don't know. Do I want it to match and look like a book cover? Or do I want to turn it this way? So the two flowers. Well, I guess I'm going to do it this way. Which was the original way I was going to do it. Now, no glue, so we put our fingers on here. We just want to glue around the outside. And then glue right down the middle. Oh, I am going to have to turn it over because I had it written backwards because I was going to originally do it the other way. So I had it written the other way. We want the opening for the pockets on that side. Yep. So now we've got these two pockets. We'll make thumb holes once the glue is dried. Now we're just going to attach this on the side here, just like we did the other side. Oh, we need to glue this shut. Sorry about that. Let's just leave that open. Why not? What do you think? Executive decision? No. I don't think so. All right, so we're going to glue this shut to make the pocket. And now I think I'm going to put something here, even though the original didn't. But the original, the papers had large features on them that you could make it decorative. So that's not the case really on these. So I think I'm going to put like a pocket here. I'll decide by the time we get to the last video. So we're going to have at least two more. So we're going to peel this off. And we're going to glue it. And we're going to butt it right up against where it folds and line it up with the bottom. Make sure it closes. Oops, kind of slid out, didn't it? I think mine is too high, my fastener, because it makes it too big of a bump when you close it. So I'll have to put some sort of a fastener here to account for this. This makes me sad, because I ended up having to work so hard to get this to work, because the hole where the brad or the brad legs weren't round, they were flat. They were really wide. It was really hard for me to get that to be able to turn. So anyway, that's the end of my woe is me story. So now we've got the two pockets. We should be able to make the thumb holes. Try to look for the center of the pocket. Okay, that's going to be about here. Oh, look, I did go ahead and mark it in black like I said in the last video. Let me get that slid in there. There we go. Okay. Get it in the middle, push it into the line, make sure the line is even. Thumb hole. Yeah, I'm really unhappy with that. I think it's too late to do anything as well. Okay. Slide it in, make sure we're in the middle, line it up. Now we got a thumb hole. Now remember, I'm going to have to ink that some more. You're going to have to, when you ink this, before you put the paper on, you're going to have to make sure that you have inked it far enough down to take into account the thumb holes. I didn't paint it black because I thought it would, even though that would probably be better because it would match, I just left it inked. And I'm going to put two tags in there. I haven't inked these yet. I better not put them in there because I'll forget to ink them. I'm going to have to go back and ink all the, I made a whole bunch and I'm going to make some more, some different shapes. Okay, so that's that. Okay, now, let me look at the original. Now we're going to take a drink of coffee. Try not to burn my mouth. That's why I was slurping, because it was super hot when I brought it in here. Okay, so now we're going to make this folding envelope. So it's going to be shorter. It's going to close. It's going to be shorter on the top than it is on the bottom. And we'll have a pocket here. And I forgot to color inside, paint inside, and a pocket here. All right. Oops. Right here. It's hard because it's not glued shut. And a pocket here. And then this is going to stick out farther than the edge. It's going to be even on this side. Sorry about that. And so when this sticks out, we're going to have to cut one little piece for back here. So I think that makes number 7. I'll find a scrap for that. I'm using scraps except for one piece on this. So first things first. Where's my glue flower? Oh, there it is. Yeah, pocket. Okay. So now we're not going to be gluing any papers until the commercial break. Then I'll be able to paint this too. So when I cut the thumb holes, then it will be okay. So now we've cut the ends off. We've opened it up. We've painted this. And you're going to want to paint here. And then on the opposite side, because it's going to be folded over, we're going to cut the thumb hole here. So you're going to want to paint here. Once you fold it, then you'll see where you need to color or paint or whatever. Now, the side that, let me show you. This is our flip out, this is our flip out with the long pocket. So when you close it like that, this is half of the envelope, which is the bigger half. This is the smaller half of the envelope. Okay? Oh, we don't have to worry about paper for the flaps, unless we wanted to do it that way. Well, I'm not going to change my plan now. The other plan is to include the little white or the clear feet or corner pieces to hold pictures on these spots here. Okay, so we have to remember this is our pocket up here. So this piece right here is 5 inches long. So we're going to score from the left at 5 inches. So that it can fold over like this. Then we set our scoreboard in the special scoreboard place. Score. Yeah. Sorry. Every time I say scoreboard, that pops into my head. All right. So then you're going to mark this area. No paper, you're going to glue it. But you're only going to glue here, here, and here to make your pocket. It's going to be on here like this. Okay? Yeah. We're going to cover these with papers, so it doesn't matter. We're just going to seal the envelope shut, so I guess I didn't need to paint it. But I do need to paint in here. Yeah, because I want to cover that. I really, really do. I'm just using my Apple Barrel craft paint. I'm going to open it up. So now the part you're going to see once you cut the thumb hole is this part over here, and it dries almost instantly. Oh, I don't want to paint on that. I don't want to make it look like the abstract that was on the other side. I sanded it down. Now I wish I hadn't, but it was just so hard to see to work on it. Okay, and then I'm gonna, oops, that's a little much. When I shake the bottle up, it puts enough paint on the lid for me to use it as a palette. We're going to do the opposite side. What is my deal here? What is my dealio? Okay, so that when we fold it, and it's folded over like this, and we cut our thumb hole here, then it'll be black in here. And I've just noticed, oh, no, it's just going to be the thumb hole here. There's going to be a thumb hole here. So we needed to paint that in there. Okay? So now that we've painted them, it's okay to seal the envelope. Now I don't have any water to put my paintbrush in. I'll set it somewhere that I'm going to knock it off if I don't clean it. Okay. So, as you can see, I don't need that. I forgot that this isn't the one that we make pockets out of. So we're going to seal that shut. Okay, so now this piece is going to be 5 inches by, it's going to be a bigger number. Four and an eighth. Ah, and I actually had it written down. And then this front side here, 3 and 1 are going to be the same size. So this one's going to be, I'm double checking now, 3.5 by 4 1/8, 3.5 by 4 1/8, and then this side will be the same. Okay, at this point, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and I'm going to ink everything, and then cut my papers and ink the papers, and then when we come back, then we will attach it to the front, and then we will be done with doing the side flaps, the thumb holes, and the flip out. Aren't you excited? Okay, we'll be right back. Okay, everybody, we're back. Did you have fun with all that cutting and inking and all that? I'll show you the papers that I picked, and on a side note, I made 2 changes that aren't going to affect you unless you want to do them. I added a tuck spot here and a tuck spot here on the front, and the colors of this are the same as our little flip out book. So that ties those colors in, the green and the flowers actually are already here in our lining. So just the green. So now if you remember, this part is the part that's going to get glued here. And we are not going to glue the top when we glue it on. We're going to put our papers on first though. So, and we're going to cut our thumb holes too. So all we have to do at this point, now remember, you're going to have to leave a little bit of a gap here so that your papers don't all smunch together when you close it. Okay, so we're just going to glue these papers on real quick. And I forgot to pre-cut the one for the little bitty part that sticks out over the back. So you'll know where it goes and you'll be able to measure and put it on. And I probably won't glue the tuck spots on camera either, because there's no reason to take up that extra time for you. You know what I mean? Just to do that. Okay, so we're going to glue that one on there. We're going to glue this one on here. This glue's strong enough. I think I've mentioned this before, that I don't glue the center of the paper. Plus, if you don't glue the center, you see how I can move it around and slide it around. If you glue it in the center, then you can't really move it around. I'm going to move this a little closer to the edge because I kind of went over with the black. I had to go in and touch up a little bit, so I want to cover that up. It's still going to be okay. All right, and then all we have left to do is to glue this one on. I want to make sure my writing is right side up. My voice just cracked. I'm now a 14-year-old boy. You have to love allergies. In Seattle, we're already well into fall. I think I'm going to ink that up a little bit more too. Just a little bit. Because that's where our bend is. These are our my two tuck spots. I'm just gonna paper clip them together, set them to the side. My scrap pile is growing by leaps and bounds. When you have to make all these little pieces, all these little cuts, you end up with a lot of scraps. Okay, so now all we have left to do is to attach this on here. And if you remember, we're going to line this up even with this edge. And then we're going to glue this side, and this side, but not the top, so that we're making a tuck spot or a pocket. Okay, so put your fingers where you do not want to glue. And then remember, this is going to stick out. So, and I just glued where I do not want to glue. There we go. Talking and not paying attention because this part's going to hang over. So, I'm going to put my fingers. It's about here. Okay. And we're just going to glue this on here. Yeah, I did all right. glue that down. I really like having these little orange things. I know staying on the board means that you can see it, but that helps me a lot. Okay, so all we have left to do is make our thumb holes and put our piece of paper on here. So depending on, you know, your type of envelope that you're using, your little piece right here may be a different size than mine would be. So just measure that and put a little piece of paper on there, and don't forget to ink around it. Okay, so we're going to make our thumb holes. I have one here. Just put it in the center, line it up. Here's a thumb hole. Now we've got these here, so I should have lined it up a little bit, but it looks like it's going to be pretty close anyway. Now, the center of this should be lined up. What's going on here? Oh, I got caught. Okay, so line the center line that I drew on here so I could see it better instead of those little arrows. I'm going to line both sides up with the end of the paper. And then I'm going to pick it up to do the punch because the closure's right underneath. There we go. Now, just to make this match, you know, I had said I was just going to leave this inked. But now that I look at it with these two painted, I think I'm going to go... That's going to mess up the border, though. I don't know. I'm going to have to think about it. When you see this, I will wait. And when you see this video, I want you to put in the comments what you think I should do here. Maybe I should put a piece of this paper in here. Oh, hey, that's a good idea because that matches the inside of the envelope there. Ah, solved my own problem. You know, it'd kind of be nice to put that paper here, too. And I've got several scraps that would work. Like this one will work right here. And then I have, actually this one would work right here. See, I could just slide it in like this. Oh, it's got the glue right there. I could pull that glue apart and re-glue it once I put this paper in. There we go. So I'll glue this paper in here. Or I could have just made two pieces of paper, couldn't I? Well, I guess I'll be fixing that. Anyway, that's what I've decided to do. I'm going to glue this paper in here. And I'm going to use the same paper on the back of here to tie it all together. Now, I forgot to mention, this paper does not come with this kit garden from Pink Monarch. Pink Monarch, it's not papers, it's okay, anyway, the link is below the video, and I can't believe I didn't write it down to have it right in front of my face so I would always know. Anyway, this paper comes from a kit by JaneyBJournals, and I will put the link to that below. It's a really pretty one too, and it's got something to do with garden as well, but the colors in it, I thought, tied it in together without it being just the roses and the music. So basically we're done with that. You got your flip outs. Now I'm going to put my tucks in, one here and one here, and so that's completely up to you whether you want to do that extra step or not. And you're going to have this pocket here. So whether you want to put anything else here or not, you might want to just the tag that you decide to put in here to show people that there's a pocket there. You might just want to make it a great big old long tag, you know, just cut it by hand. Or so maybe I'll measure one of those and make a really large pair of tags to go in that tag file that I'm going to give you. Okay, well, that's it for this one, and I will see you in video number 4. And that will be a second for you and a day for me. I will talk to you later.